The Castillo de San Marcos seems like it has been in St. Augustine forever. But construction wasn't started on the place we know today until October 2nd, 1672. St. Augustine had been a city for 107 years before the coquina stone structure was built, but there had been 9 wooden forts on that spot. It took 23 years to build the fort, and this was during the First Spanish period. That was from 1565 until 1763. It was built in a stellar, or star shape, around a square main courtyard. There was a well in this courtyard, so they would always have fresh water, even if attacked. The Castillo was covered in bright white plaster called argamasa, a mix of lime, sand, and water. The trim work and the sentry towers were covered with red plaster made by adding brick dust to the argamasa. Red and white were the royal colors of Spain. During this time, the Spanish drilled to keep their soldiers ready in case they needed to defend their town. They practiced getting the cannons ready to fire every day. Ranger Boyle Sapp leads a demonstration of the very same cannon fire drill the Spanish soldiers did in 1740 at the Castillo.
Stop on the mecha! Coming on there! Yes! Fuego!
Wow! The Spanish soldiers did not live in the fort, but worked there in 24-hour shifts. They lived with their families in town the rest of the time, like firefighters do today. They cooked and slept in this room with a large fireplace that also kept them warm in winter. The fort was never taken over in battle, and it protected the people of St. Augustine through 3 major sieges and several smaller battles throughout its history. But it didn't always belong to the Spanish. In 1763, England defeated Spain in the 7 Years' War in Europe. England got Florida as part of their victory. They would own it from 1763 to 1784. They renamed the Castillo Fort St. Mark. The English made some changes to the Castillo. They put in wooden second floors so more troops could fit in these sleeping quarters, and they had their troops live in the fort all the time. After England lost the American Revolution, Florida was given back to Spain in the Second Treaty of Paris. Spanish troops came back to the fort in July of 1784. Spain would keep the Castillo from 1784 until 1819, when Spain signed Florida over to the United States. The United States renamed the Castillo Fort Marion. It was turned over to the Park Service in 1933 and was given back the name Castillo de San Marcos in 1942. For many hundreds of years, the Castillo has been, and continues to be, an important part of Florida's history and heritage. Thank you for watching.